The true plan of the evil Emperor, the most powerful mortal currently in Dragon Ball Super, is finally revealed, and I will explain this whole plan to you because Beerus, the strongest god of destruction, is in danger. So, without further delay, let's go. Since Frieza returned in Dragon Ball Super, many fans realized that the evil Emperor did not just come back to take revenge on Goku and Vegeta. He had a much bigger purpose, something that became increasingly evident as events unfolded. Frieza no longer just wants to destroy planets or command armies. His true plan is to unseat Beerus and assume the post of God of Destruction of Universe 7. He does not accept living under anyone's shadow, and now that he possesses a power equivalent to that of the gods, he believes the time has come to take the throne that, in his mind, was always destined for him. Frieza's pride has always been one of his greatest weapons and also one of his greatest weaknesses. When he discovered that Beerus was the being who, to some extent, controlled him and allowed him to rule the universe only because he found him useful, Frieza felt his ego shatter. Since that day, he swore that one day he would be as powerful as the god of destruction, or even more. His return in the Tournament of Power was not just a means of coming back to life, but also a way to closely study Beerus's and the other gods' strength. During the tournament, Frieza attentively observed every detail. He saw how the gods of destruction moved, how they channeled the power of pure destruction, and how the balance between the universes depended on Zeno's will. More than that, he understood that the gods were not eternal and unbeatable beings. They were positions, roles that could be replaced. This discovery was the missing fuel to ignite the flame of his new plan: eliminate Beerus and take his place as the new god of destruction. Since then, Frieza has been preparing in secret. After the Tournament of Power, he not only rebuilt his empire, but also began a journey of individual refinement. He disappeared from Goku and Vegeta's sight, and when he reappeared with the Black Frieza form, it was clear that he had reached a power level that rivals the gods themselves. No ordinary being could face Goku and Vegeta at their Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego levels at the same time, but Frieza did it with ease. This demonstration of strength was not just a symbolic revenge, it was a direct message to Beerus. Frieza wanted the god of destruction to know that the throne was no longer safe. His every move was calculated. He knows he cannot confront Beerus directly now, but he is accumulating power, allies, and knowledge about the divinities to make his ascent inevitable. Frieza also began to study the cosmic balance of the universe, something few mortals comprehend. He knows that to replace Beerus, he needs to prove that he is capable of maintaining the order and balance of destruction, but in his characteristic manner, he intends to rule through fear. In his view, Universe 7 needs a ruthless god, not a lazy feline who spends the day sleeping. The most frightening thing is that Frieza is not alone in his ambition. There are rumors among the angels that he has sought contact with ancient entities, perhaps even with divinities that existed before the Xenos themselves. He is studying the key of destruction, something that only the gods of destruction master, and according to some theories, he may be trying to create an artificial version of this power using his evil energy. If this is true, Beerus may finally have found someone capable of matching his divine level. While Beerus remains confident, believing that Frieza would never dare to face him, the Galactic Emperor is one step ahead. He understood something that many ignore. Beerus only exists as long as the Xenos allow him to. But if Frieza manages to prove that he is more efficient, more destructive, and more organized, perhaps even the Xenos may see an advantage in having him as the new god of destruction. Goku and Vegeta would inevitably be dragged into this confrontation. Goku, as the Ultra Instinct apprentice, would be torn between protecting Beerus and facing an enemy he himself helped revive. Vegeta, on the other hand, would see Beerus's downfall as an opportunity to claim the god of destruction position that he always desired. The result of this would be universal chaos, with the three fighting not just for power, but for control over the destiny of Universe 7. Frieza believes that fear is the purest and most effective force in the universe. He plans to rebuild everything under this philosophy. Entire worlds would bow to his will, and entire civilizations would be molded under his divine authority. He does not want to be just a ruler. He wants to be a supreme, untouchable, eternal entity. For him, Beerus is merely an obstacle on the path to absolute divinity. Even if Beerus underestimates him, the universe already senses the echo of his ascent. Planets begin to disappear without explanation, civilizations that served the Frieza Empire have returned to act in silence, and information about dark energy rituals has spread. Everything indicates that God of Destruction Frieza is only a matter of time, and when that moment arrives, not even the angels will be able to guarantee that balance will be maintained. Universe 7 is about to face its greatest crisis since the birth of the gods, because unlike Beerus, who destroys out of boredom or order, Frieza will destroy out of pleasure, power, and control. His reign would not be that of a benevolent god, but that of a divine tyrant who would see life as a mere game in his hands. And the most disturbing thing of all is that, deep down, he believes that this is the natural destiny of the universe, to be governed by fear. If Beerus does not act, Frieza's time will come. The evil emperor has already conquered symbolic immortality. He is the only being who always returns, stronger, colder, and more intelligent. And now, with the power of a god and the ambition of a demon, his final objective is clear: to dethrone Beerus and govern all of Universe 7, not as a mere emperor, but as the supreme god of destruction. There is a detail that few understand about the cosmic balance. Every god of destruction has a vital link with the Supreme Kai. This connection is an ancient law of the multiverse. If one of them dies, the other also instantly perishes. Beerus, as the god of destruction of Universe 7, shares this link with Supreme Kai Shin. If Frieza discovers this truth, Beerus will face his greatest risk since the beginning of time. And knowing Frieza's cold and strategic intelligence, it is only a matter of time until he uncovers this weakness. Frieza is a genius in manipulation and espionage. He would never attack Beerus directly while the god is at his peak, but he knows how to play with the rules of the universe. If he obtains information about this sacred link, he would not even need to lift a finger against Beerus. He would just need to eliminate Shin, and in an instant, the god of destruction would cease to exist. And this would be the perfect move for a conqueror like Frieza, who prefers to win by the mind before winning by force. This possibility would place him in a position of absolute power. Once Beerus was out of the way, there would be no one with enough authority to stop Frieza from claiming the God of Destruction post. Whis might try to intervene, but as an angel, he is forbidden to take sides in divine conflicts. This would mean that the entire universe would be vulnerable to the evil emperor's will, and it is exactly this type of scenario that Frieza dreams of creating, one where all rules bow to his will. Frieza, as god of destruction, would be the climax of his ambition. With the power of pure destruction in his hands and his Machiavellian intelligence, he could mold Universe 7 in his image. Unlike Beerus, he would have no moral limits, no mercy, no hesitation. He would eliminate any planet that did not instantly bow down. He would destroy civilizations just to reaffirm his dominance, and he might even create a new type of universal order, one where fear and obedience replace harmony and balance. But Frieza does not think small. He always believed that being merely the ruler of one universe is not enough. He wants to surpass even the Xenos, the very kings of existence. He knows that the Xenos are powerful, but also infantile, impulsive, and emotionally fragile. If he could take control of the power of destruction and at the same time understand the essence of divinities, perhaps he could find a way to subjugate even the supreme beings, and that is exactly why he has spared Goku and Vegeta. Frieza understands that Goku and Vegeta are the keys to understanding the gods. Both surpass the mortal level, achieving the mastery of divine powers that not even Beerus fully comprehends. By observing and even testing the two Saiyans, Frieza has been learning about the flow of divine energy, about the balance between instinct and destruction, concepts that he intends to master and perfect. He spares them not out of pity, but because he knows they are still useful to him. Deep down, everything is part of his game. Frieza wants Beerus out of the way, he wants to understand the divine nature, and he wants to use the power of the Saiyans as steps to the top. He does not merely seek the God of Destruction title, but the power to remodel the entire universe in his image. If he ever truly discovers the secret of the link between Beerus and the Supreme Kai, the balance of Universe 7 will collapse, and Frieza's reign will begin, not as a simple emperor, but as a divinity that even the gods will fear. If that day truly arrives, it will be the beginning of a new dark era in Dragon Ball Super. Beerus will fall, Whis will be prevented from acting, and Goku and Vegeta will find themselves facing an enemy who fights not just for power, but for absolute dominion over existence itself. Frieza, with the key of destruction flowing in his body, will be more than a god. He will be the personification of fear and imposed order. And perhaps deep down, this is the destiny he always believed he deserved: to rule Universe 7 not as a servant of the gods, but as the supreme god himself, above everything and everyone. but comment on what you thought of all this and don't forget the like. Thank you very much for the support from all of you, and until next time.